All right, man. Some more information about Jonathan Majors that has been released. Let's talk about it. Thumbs up the video, share the video, subscribe to the channel. The subscribe button is the bell icon button. Hit all notification, increase your chance, get notifications. We go live or drop a video. So apparently Disney ain't like 100% pulled him because he gonna be in another project. Um, um, so we all know that he went and got Megan Good to put him on his arm and all that stuff. So I'm trying to pull up the right let's just see, we put up the right article, but for the gist of it, I can remember what I heard, I read, if that makes any sense from Coach Greg Adams. But attorney breaks down Jonathan Major's public legal strategy. Says that the highly publicized DV case against actor Jonathan Majors continue to play out in a court of public opinion. Majors arrested in March. Charge became a massive story overnight. Led to his attorney, Pyra Chardry, has not shied away from discussing her legal team strategy and outlet rate from TMZ Business Insider. Given how public Major's legal team has been, the Root spoke to an attorney about their thoughts on Major's public defense strategy and might tell us about the case. Quote, "It's risky to be public," said New York criminal defense attorney Julie Redelman. "There's always a risk when you say too much," said Redelman. Let's support our client. Let's suppose our client told you something or you believe the witness is going to say something in favor. You don't realize that the district attorney has other evidence that's going to contradict what they've said. Then you put yourself in a sticky situation. However, major celebrity with blah, 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 blah. So we understand that. So one aspect of the case that garnered attention was the legal team decision to release the video of the alleged victim at the bar the night of Major's arrest, as well as text message she allegedly sent to Majors. There are a couple of ways to read that choice, especially in regards to the video, says Lee Goodmark, a law professor at University of Maryland and DV expert. On one hand, it's a way to get ahead of the story, said Goodmark. On the other hand, it's a way to say to her, don't bother, don't do this because we're going to tear you up and it's going to send a message, and it's hard to know what the intent is behind it. His legal team has also hinged their strategy, arguing that the alleged decision to recant proves that she wasn't abused, but Goodmark says it's not that simple. So I just want to get to the point where they talk, Jesus Christ, about what happened, or I'm going to have to just read it. But I'm gonna have to find it because this ain't the one with it. But basically, let me tell y'all what's being said. So they released a video of her being at the bar, okay, and this apparently after the incident, I believe it was, and she was being cool. She was being, touchy feely. She was going for a wallet, Then apparently something broke and they like a little apartment or whatever like that. Something had broke, and the super came. The maintenance man came and said that they was cool and everything was cool and everything was A1, and it didn't look like she had anything going on. So it says the Miss Jabari's claim that Mr. Major saw her in the car in Chinatown. Let's see if we finally got it. In Chinatown around 12 a.m. March 25th, 2023. During the incident, Mr. Majors broke her finger, lacerated her ear. Sharjee wrote in a letter to Manhattan Court Judge Rachel S. Pauley was released April 8th. "We have proof that this is a complete lie," Sharjee told the jail, detailing the trove of defense eyewitnesses, interviews, and phone records of credit card statements and hours of surveillance from the body camera. So they released this video and it don't show none of that. It basically, what they side of the story is Leslie saying that she lied about the whole incident, and they got eyewitnesses that say that she allegedly got physical with him and he just calmed her down. So simple as that. Sardry in the letter says Sardry alleged in the letter that this evidence suggested that Jabari injured herself several hours after the midnight fight with Jabari took a fall while Majors alone in the penthouse, apparently after drinking and taking sleeping pills. The evidence that Chaudhry is shared with the insiders did not show Jabari was injured for the entirety of the fight between Jabari and Majors. This is the center of the misdemeanor charge. It did, however, appear to support the lawyer's contention that Jabari's ear and finger were uninjured in the hours after the fight. So she didn't went to go pull. So this is why the better your attorney, the better your chances is at winning. She went to go surveillance footage from the club. She went to go get surveillance footage from different shops, and there's cameras everywhere now, especially over in New York City. Even in Detroit, we got cameras everywhere. And apparently, she injured herself, is what they saying, to get him in trouble. Now, you say, why would she go through all that trouble, sir? She would go through all that trouble because he was with another woman. And when they know it's over and they don't end the relationship, you know, and they not the ones that end the relationship, they want to do anything to destroy your name. And then when they calm down, they down years on the line when they destroyed your name and you, because when you go through things like this or you go through public embarrassment, especially with all the cameras going around, there's no getting your name back, bro. As a man, especially as a black man, it ain't no more getting your name back. It ain't no more getting your name back. So as a man in general, it's no more getting your name back. Forget about it. And that's just what it is. It ain't no more getting that name back. And it's just like, it's really like having a strike or two, even if you exonerated from this, and you completely prove it innocent, and something else happened. Somebody else say you did something else. Oh man, it must be true. 2 times in a row, 2 different women saying it, 3 different women saying it, 4 different women saying it. So that's why you got to be careful. But when women, when women find out you talk to somebody else, they pretty much figure out, that you about to break up with them, and you monkey branched or whatever, you know, So she started tripping out. She like, oh, my gravy train is gone, and I'm gonna f up his career. And then you got alcohol flowing, you got emotions flowing. You know what I'm saying? And the craziest part about this whole situation is that even if she is proved to be a full-fledged lie, nothing is going to happen to her. Like nothing happened to that girl in the Travis Rudolph case. Women have no responsibility. That girl in the Travis Rudolph case sent the hit on him. And none of her brothers, she wasn't charged or nothing, bro. It's an attack on black men out here, bro. That's what I must tell y'all. It's an attack on black men. The mass incarceration in the 70s, man, that's still going on. The 94 crime bill, all that's still going on. Imagine if we stormed the Capitol, man, they wouldn't have left no brother left behind. We tried to do something to a governor. They would have left no brother left behind. We all be in jail, all hit the dirt. We all be in jail to be dead. So you got to understand, dude, even if it's a clear and cut stand your ground law, like Florida, like in the Travis Rudolph case, they still gonna send us to court and waste public money because they want to take away deplete our bank accounts. They want to deplete now they want to deplete they want to take time and put stress on our body, take years off our career. And then you got to understand, if you don't win a lawsuit versus them, then you got to rebuild your whole life back up again. Because when your high comes down from being free, you know what I'm saying, and then your reputation got to be rebuilt. And that's hard to do. So come on, it's just about destroying him at this point in case. Chaudhry continued the letter. Jabari has said, I don't know 19 times when asked by arriving medics and cops how she was injured, citing police a body-worn cam footage taken at the penthouse turned over to the defense by the prosecutor. The letter alleged the NYP footage showed that the lead officer, Mr. Jabari, to accuse Mr. Major of assault. She said in the letter that the arrest was racist, showed that officers questioning amongst themselves how Majors, who they didn't recognize a famous actor, could afford to live in a luxury penthouse. He might have a deeper lawsuit. He might come out on top, you know. And they knew the body cam was on. New York don't care. Even though Mr. Barr admitted to drinking to the point of throwing up and taking sleeping pills, I have no idea how she woke up in the closet with the cut on her hand and injured her finger. The police jumped to conclusions that Mr. Major, the young, tall, strong, rich black man, must have done this. Jabari Sargi wrote in the letter. So so a prosecutor's charged Major with 6 counts of assault and 3 counts of harassing Jabari, a London-based movement coach who had worked alongside Majors on the set of Atman. So there you go. What I tell you guys, man, I told somebody yesterday, a young woman yesterday, man, don't mess with no dudes you work with. And they'd be like, yeah, I know. I'm like, yeah, I've been there. Don't do it. Women and men, don't mess with people you work with. Now, if the job is done, and y'all done, you done work, y'all don't work there no more, and you like, okay, well, I want to get to know you then, cool. But then for men, that's still somewhat of a red flag. You ask why, CJ? Because she know your business. She gonna get to know your business, but she knows somewhat of your business. Y'all have interaction. That's why the less you say, the better it is when dealing with people. They got to work to get that information off you, bro. They got to work to get that information off you. I'm telling y'all. So his career is on hold. Obviously, the cost of arrest has been high. Major quickly lost a lot of U.S. Army ad campaigns, and she will not have to pay restitution back to him. But he couldn't get some restitution from New York City for saying that racist shit. The cops, and they gonna want to settle quick, fast, and a hurry. So I'll be already, planning that lawsuit up. Last week, Disney Plus definitely delayed the plan of a similar docuseries episode, making the Quantum. The release date of the 2 Avenger movies were also delayed a year. Also, you got the writers, strike going on too. Is delaying a lot of stuff. He's heartbroken. He lost everything, and people say, "Oh man, he messing with a white girl," and all that stuff. I mean, shit, this can happen with any woman, bro. This can happen with any woman. The driver's prepared to testify. So the driver of the car saw and heard everything in the letter. Street surveillance video revealed by insiders appears substantial. At least some of the driver's accounts show Majors repeatedly trying to flee from Jabari as she pulled his coat. And he's a big guy, and she's pulling him hard. She's pulling his body into the car, and you see the coat ripped and does not finally get. He does finally get out. Charlie, a small group of women who witnessed the fight recognize the star. Only in New York, right? One woman jumps on him and hugs him and asks for a selfie. Sarge said, he's so nice, they take a selfie. So at the end of the day, bro, people seeing this, and if you don't have money, you don't have access to fight this. So if she ties her hair in a knot, if your finger was broken, you had to tie your hair in a knot, it would hurt. So this lawyer then pulled out all the stops. She gathered her hair behind her ear. If your ear was cut, then your finger was broken, you went to do what? You would be like, oh, well, how that happened? She asked. Totally fine. She was totally fine. So she did it. She did it, man. This is why I don't really like mess with alcohol no more, and I want to mess with women that got mental problems. But you don't know how crazy a woman is until you done settled down, y'all done became exclusive. So a bartender who met Jabari is prepared to testify. So you got the bartender ready to testify. So apparently, he said Sarge told insiders Majors, I probably wouldn't even, but they ain't trying to go to trial though. But they said, they go to trial, they gonna light that boy up. Majors and uninjured Jabari parted ways at the fight to embark 2 separate, very different evenings. Major spent the rest of his night in the Upper East Side Hotel. The lawyer said records showed that he sent Jabari a breakup text before turning off his phone. Jabari, meanwhile, befriended 3 of the passenger buyers who witnessed the fight. Lawyer said 1 woman and 2 men headed to Louis, a nearby club. Sarge wrote her letter. Prosecutors have contact information for at least one of the witnesses, but have not shared with the attorney defense. Smart. Sarge said the lawyers alleged that in April 8th letter, the video of Lucy showed Jabari dancing and drinking with her new acquaintance and charging their drinks, including a round of shots, $800 a bottle of champagne, and Major's credit card. So she still had his credit card. That's an unauthorized charge. Legally, they have to cash that back to Jonathan Majors, and that's really like grand larceny or some shit, ain't it? So maybe he can, put it on her now as far as the charges. Insider revealed the time-stop videos of Louis' nightclub obtained by Sergeant's throw 2 hours of footage from multiple camera angles. Jabari shows no signs of having any injuries in her right hand. Instead, she has been seen using her right hand to shuffle through her wallet and credit cards, handling her cell phone, holding a menu, clinking champagne glasses with her friends, and write on a hand note to DJ give what appears to be a first fist pump in the air and dance on the floor. Um, and finally a sign check. So like I'm not gonna show the video. So the breakup text. So it says shortly after 3 a.m. the club surveillance footage shows Jabari standing near the hostess of surgery. Said this is one of the moments she saw the major breakup text. The lawyer alleges, remember this after the situation, the little scuffle. The lawyer alleged Jabari soon left the club grabbing taxis with Major's card. Surveillance footage showed that, unless she's authorized user on the card, FYI, shows her arriving at Major's address 323 as she rolled up to Major's triplex penthouse 17th, 18th, and 19th floor of the luxury Lower Manhattan apartment building. The elevator surveillance camera recorded her clear image of her right hand, and it continues to show no apparent injury, Chaudhry said. So if you got into a dispute, you're not going to the club. You're emotionally distraught. You're an emotional creature. Then you're not going to his house if he did something to you. Jabari phone then went silent for 7:45. She called Majors 32 times since they parted ways that night. That's somebody that harmed you and had sent him a serious, angry, jealous text message accusing him of infidelity and begging him to call her. This is how I go. This is why you walk away, fellas. And he had to walk. Unfortunately, she was grabbing him, and he in racist New York or whatever, and she grabbed him or whatever, and he had to try to walk away, but he did walk away. But you got to walk away as soon as possible, man. You have to walk away. No matter where you go, another room, lock yourself in another room. If you feel like you got to stay in your house to protect your shit, I hate to say it. Hey, it is what it is. You can always buy some more shit. Because unfortunately, they're not going to do anything to her. They're going to just say, she was emotional, and she's not going to hold no responsibility. This is why women are not accountable. The daddy government don't hold them accountable. Come on. Hours later, Major still in the Upper East Side hotel room began strolling through Jabari's sex was he chilled him to the bone. Sergeant said so. Apparently, he did the suicide thing. Been there, done that. Handyman is also prepared to testify. I told y'all that. Um, Major let himself into the penthouse upstairs in the bedroom, but was locked from inside. He called the resident handyman and forced to open the door, and the lawyer wrote the letter. Inside, Major Handyman found Jabari half naked and passed out on the floor. Sergeant said Sergeant wrote the evidence would show her right ear was bloody and knuckles. So eyewitness who was on the phone with Majors when I found the unconscious body gas and called 911. So I took the inside of the handyman as another witness. Lawyer said both witnesses verified that Mr. Barry was locked in the bedroom. Mr. Major was not with Mr. Barry whatsoever before found her and called 911. So I mean, this stuff. Come on, man. His attorney said his arrest could make the black man afraid to call 911. We was afraid to call before that. So this is attorney right here. She ain't playing no game. So she ain't got it all together. They said, they calling for acquittal and a full exoneration of him. If not, they prepared to spark that shit up in trial. And I'm gonna tell you this right now, they still gonna make him go to trial because they're gonna try to tear down his image regardless. The same thing with Travis Rudolph. That was an open and closed case, and charges should have been put on the other person. It's an open and closed case. Charges should be put on her if she's not a primary card holder. That's grand larceny using a card that was not yours, and she lied. That need to be a felony. Bro. She lied to get this man in jail because she was emotional. That's not an excuse to put a man in jail and tear his reputation down. I don't care if he was swimming in the milk or not swimming in the milk. I don't care. Women started to need to be held accountable. And this is why dudes is moving. I've met multiple guys that say, when they plan to move overseas. or they done really messing with women like that. Or they just gonna do escorts and go. And my coach Greg Alves go to the junior college. This is why. Not only do they have the advantages in the court system as far as with child support, alimony, marriage, it's a contract. Then now, if you choose to want to move on, and then now, they can act crazy and put you in jail. Man, who got time for that shit? Because you think somebody down with you, but they really ain't. But yeah, leave them girls you work with alone, man. But hey, let me know what you girls and guys think. Thumbs up the video, share the video, subscribe to the channel. The subscribe button is the bell icon button. Hit all notifications, increase your chance to get notifications. We go live or drop video. Financially want to support the channel. Cash App $CJ Good 313, Venmo CJ Good 313, PayPal link in description. Hit the link tree. Find me on Twitter, Instagram, Spotify, Anchor, Cash App, Venmo, PayPal, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, the whole nine. Appreciate the love and support. Let me know what you girls and guys think in the comment section. One time for the one time. Goodfella TV. Make sure you hit the link tree, man. I appreciate that. Check out my Detroit channel right here on YouTube. Mother Street Sports Talk for more everything around Detroit. Peace.